This weekend is our birthday weekend. Charlie, who created the place, would have been 50 this year, so we're having a very big celebration. His mother and sister are actually out here. So it's a big time. So yeah, we're trying to do we like to celebrate if we can. Right over here, this is called Definition of a Grievance, or just the mammoth. It's a 13-foot high woolly mammoth built out of blown out car tires that our artist friend Joe Holiday found on the side of the road. He brought it out here and we had a 3-day mammoth erection fest.
3-day mammoth erection fest.
Mammoth erection fest. Right here is our most dangerous art piece. This is how we keep people outside the garden that we don't want in the garden. It's not very nice to walk into someone's backyard, but some people do that with us. So we have a few things to keep them out of here. This is just broken glass, jagged wood, nails and screws. It keeps randoms out if we haven't invited them, because you have to be invited in. That's how any house in the world, and that's how we run it here too. Right over here, back in 2010, for Independence Day, a stuntman came out. His name was Captain USA, and this is the Flaming Borough of Freedom. We're not allowed to have fireworks out here, so he stood on top. There were sparklers going off, and he drove it through some flaming pallets. On our website, eastjesus.org, there is a video of that.
Okay.
Right over here is our duck pond.
Duck pond?
A duck pond.
Oh.
Everyone should have a duck pond. Someone called up Charlie and said, I've got some duck decoys. Would you like them? Charlie said, sure, bring them on down. So the guy brought 2 truckloads. Right here is the Tower of Barbarella. It's a collaborative art piece. These panels you see on the first and the second stories right there are from our art slam competitions. We'll invite our friends out for a party to end our season in March, and when they come out, we'll tell them get to work. We'll give them a panel of wood, and for an hour, they're just told to make art. It's kind of like an Iron Chef style competition.
I see.
Yeah. The mural right there was done by an artist by the name of Angelina Christina. She came out here and we gave her a day to paint the side of our buried bus. And she did, and made us all look very bad as artists. Right over here, this is my favorite piece personally. This is The Television Will Not Be Revolutionized. One of our artists has a real big problem with the media, so he shows it. This is also an example of the kind of craftsmanship you do have to have out here in East Jesus. We get 65-mile-an-hour winds sometimes, and if your piece is going to be susceptible to the wind, it needs to be able to withstand that same wind. And as you can see, it hasn't fallen down yet. Right here is the female art car. This is our friend Joy's car flivver. You are encouraged to touch the car. She likes things to have texture instead of being a big old metal box. As you can see, the car has plenty of legroom and headroom. Now right over here, you saw mutagen up front. That was Charlie's getting around every day car. Well, this is Charlie's pride and joy. This is Cinnabar Charm. This is the first church of the chocolate martini, because if you're going to have a religion, you should have a really good drink to go along with it. The tenets of the first church of the chocolate martini are make good thing, do big fun, get more laid, and rise and infect. This is how Charlie came to East Jesus. He lived here for a while until he got his first container, and this was his and its final resting place. You can see there are about 20,000 individual objects all over Cinnabar Charm, from crucifixes to shotgun shells. Anything he wanted to put on there, he did. Show you a little bit back here. Well, you want to come under the gate here. Just watch your head.
I know what you. I know. I got the last one. Wow.
Right over here, we've got our holiday gardens and our Thunderdome. We're trying to be self-sufficient and self-sustaining. We're growing our own food here. We get our water delivered. We can get 200 gallons for $50, which keeps everything hydrated. Right here is Walter, our buried bus. It's an example of our guest lodgings. We call them our not so luxurious suites. When our friends come out and want to stay for a while, we have a nice comfy bed for them with lights and a sound system and maybe fans if it's actually too hot, but it keeps them out of the cold air and keeps them ready to work. We've got about 5 acres going all the way back. We've got right in the back standing up there, that is our Uberman. We just call him Ubi. He was at Burning Man for several years and then came to rest here, and we had an Uber erection fest. We've got a heliport back there because our friends came out in a helicopter, so we decided to build one. We've got our last outpost, Green Acres, Rabbit Camp. Basically, we have a ton of little satellite camps for our friends to stay in, and for our residents who are here full time through our season, if not the entire year, somewhere nice and comfortable to stay. Right over here is our Zen garden. As you can see, our friends are taking down our old art tent to leave room for us to party in. This is a nice area for our artists to be in a very calm, clean environment. Well, maybe not clean, but calm environment to make art. Our bottle wall right here is an example of finding some use to recycle things. There's no recycle value, or there's no redemption value for liquor and wine bottles in the state of California. So there's no incentive to recycle them except that a used brick will cost you 5 cents. The bottles happen to be free because all of our friends are massive alcoholics, as you can see by the pile of bottles we already have to use. And it just looks better than a brick. We have here some of Charlie's art. He was an assemblage artist. He took things that were weird and made them look even weirder. His motto was go out into the desert, be kind to prostitutes, and bring down the temple. What we mean by prostitutes is anyone who's ever had to do a job they hated just so they could eat for the night. We've got our old chalkboards up here because they got rid of all the chalkboards in schools. We get these for practically nothing, and we have a nice little guest book for our friends. We are very much about the written word here in East Jesus, and in here we have our library. Feel free to take a look around inside. We got books on how to make anything from clay houses to Bob Ross's Joy of Painting. We have trashy romance novels. Basically anything your library wanted to ban, we'd like a copy. Now the one thing people do wonder about us out here in the middle of nowhere, we are fully off-grid, so the question is, where do we get our power? Well, we are solar powered. We have our batteries in here. We have our solar panels up top, and they all come in to power all these batteries right here. These are old telecommunications batteries. They powered the man at Burning Man in 2007, and then eventually came to us, and they keep our lights on, our refrigerators cool, and our sound system pumping. We have 3 bathrooms in East Jesus. We have our ladies' room right in here. We have our men's room around the corner, and then way down at the end we have our 3rd bathroom, which is kind of a new bathroom. We just call it Pass with Care. These are composting toilets. This is how we are growing our food. It's our humanure system. You go in there, you do your business, you cover it with peat moss. When the bucket gets full, it gets pulled into our compost, and that's how we're growing all of our food.
What?
I don't know. What? There's more raised bed gardens here. Right in here is our music room. We have a stripper pole, because strippers will not show up unless you have a pole. We have a brothel, and we have a shower because we try to keep clean out here. And we have a studio grand piano. Right here is a picture of Charlie in his favorite position, naked with a beer in Cinnabar Charm. Up there are his ashes. They weren't happy with his mother out in Maine, so she brought him down here so he could keep watch over the place. Charlie was 46 years old when he passed away. He died right in here, surrounded by all the things he loved, and all of us as his friends wanted to come together to make sure that all of this didn't die. We do have our hunting lodge in here. We have our trophy wife right up there. We have a fully functional kitchen. We have a couple of chefs with us here that are very good at cooking us good food, and we definitely enjoy that food because we're all starving artists. We have 2 living rooms. Our indoor one is nice in the shade during the summer especially, and our outdoor one has a great view of the Chocolate Mountain bombing range. I'll show you that over here. It's a little crowded. We are having a big party weekend.
Smoky.
We have our hookah lounge and bar right here.
Hello.
Some friends of ours from
Hi.
Canada came out here.
Hide your beer, quick.
Give it to her. Our friends from Canada brought us a nice wine dispenser and said, we'll put it next to your bar. We said, well, we don't have a bar. They said, okay, we'll build you a bar. That's how we do things in East Jesus. If someone says they want to do something, they just do it. And like I said, we have a great view of the Chocolate Mountain bombing range. That is an active bombing range. We could be sitting here playing music, drinking a beer, while bombs and tracers and machine gun fire are all going off in the background. Because this is America.
Oh yeah.
And that's East Jesus. Feel free to look around a bit.